Alright people, welcome back to Conqueror and Commander. Today I'm going to be looking at another game featuring my Morinfen deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com, look up my article series Conqueror and Commander. You should see it there nicely and neatly all spread out. This is a slightly earlier version of the deck, and as such you'll see some cards that are no longer in the deck, like Lord of the Void. Originally I just had too much equipment and not enough threats, so this guy was in for a little while. But it turned out he was just too mana intensive, so I ended up taking him out in the long run. Anyways, this hand has 3 lands, one of which is Urborg, which turns everything into swamps, plus Boots and Tutor, so I'm pretty sure I keep this. In addition, just a heads up, this Phairka deck, I guess I should talk about my opponents here, is one that was in my Lorthos videos, and he was mana screwed in that game. But in this game, he is not mana screwed, and we'll actually get to see what he does, so that'll be cool. Next up, we've got my buddy Neo here with Damia, Sage of Stone. Control deck, usually difficult to deal with. Finally, we've got Kruphix, God of Horizons. Again, big mana, big spells. Let's see how we do here. So Damia has first turn Ancestral Vision. I draw into Nightmare Lash. And then Damia ponders before playing her own Urborg. Kruphix has no forests, but I am able to go ahead and cast with Boots. I'm not drawing any other lands, which is frustrating. 3 visits for Damia, but no other land drop. Kruphix has another island. I do not draw another land, but I tutor for Armillary Sphere. Phairka plays Verdure and Enchantress, so that's good to notice, right? Damia plays Trigon Predator, which is real rough with the hand that I have right now. So what I'm hoping for is to draw another land so that I can at least cast and use Armillary Sphere on the same turn. Kruphix finally gets an island and then casts Nature's Lore for a forest, and then casts his own Trigon Predator. Neither of which is good for me. I do draw Vampire Hexmage, which I have to cast because, again, I'm worried about being able to use the sphere at the same time. Phairka comes out, draws him a card, and then there's Endless Scream for 0. It's just a 1 mana cantrip at this point. And it's interesting why did he pick an opponent's card? There's Hypnotic Spectre. Trigon Predator goes after Kruphix. There's Brutalizer Exarch, who puts Phairka onto his library. I finally draw another land, and then there's Armillary Sphere that I cast so that I can go ahead and do it. Pop it and get some actual swamps. Phairka plays Herald of Torment, which is an enchantment, so he gets to draw a card. So it's obviously an Enchantress-based deck. I get hit with both of these guys and lose my Boots. And I have to discard a card. I don't remember what it was. There's Kruphix. The Exarch goes after Damia. I play a Swamp after drawing Baleful Strix and play Morinfen. There's Ancestral Mask on Verduran, on the Enchantress. Ancestral Mask is +2/+2 for each other enchantment on the field. And then Aspect of Mongoose. So the Enchantress is like a 9/11. It's actually going to get bigger. It's an 11/13. Then he exiles my graveyard, which is slightly disappointing, but not much. Mystical Tutor for Cyclonic Rift. So Cyclonic Rift is in Damia's hand now. And then she goes ahead and rifts and attacks the Phairka player, discarding Boundless Realms. There's the Trigon Predator, and then Sylvan Caryatid, and then Fauna Shaman, which is slightly problematic. So I go ahead and play Magus of the Coffers to help me with my mana issues. Demonic Tutor for Reliquary Tower, for the Herald of Torment, and then Aspect of Mongoose. Damia has her own Demonic Tutor for Fleshbag Marauder, which gets rid of my Magus and the Herald. And Phairka gets attacked with the Hypnotic Spectre because she has had 10 cards in hand, now 9. There's Diluvian Primordial, but the Primordial gets counterspelled, thank goodness. Damia has the counterspell. Does not dig for anything with the Fauna Shaman. Still having mana issues, but I go ahead and play Lord of the Void. He obviously does not last long enough to connect, and you'll see what happens. The Enchantress comes back out. Shade's Form enchants it. There's Aspect of Mongoose again. Kruphix searches up Royal Elemental. Oh boy. So, both of these guys go after the Enchantress. Phairka. There's Royal Elemental, who 3 visits and steals my Lord of the Void. Sad times. I draw Silence the Believers. So I go ahead and use it to get rid of the Trigon Predator and the Royal Elemental. That gets my Lord of the Void back. This is an interesting card. I've never seen this card before. This is Song of Serenity. Creatures that are enchanted cannot attack or block. So that means that everybody's stuff is going to get enchanted here soon. So he goes to enchant the Predator with Parasitic Bond. Deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. But Damia has negate to avoid that. And then he goes in with Mourning, which can bounce. But there is no counter for that spell. So that sticks. Oh no, Counter Squall, never mind. And then finally, Endless Scream! So, he drew out 2 of the counter spells at least. And I'm actually happy with the Trigon Predator being unable to attack because we still have 2 more pieces of equipment. Spectre goes after the Phairka player and she has to discard something. There's Obnixilis, who dings the Phairka player. Kruphix searches up Clone. And then plays Knowledge Exploitation, targeting Damia, and gets Damnation. It went by real quick, but Damnation blew everything up. So there's the Coiling Oracle, which revealed the Felwar Stone. I go ahead and try and cast Baleful Force, and it draws me a card or 2 here. There's Eidolon of Blossoms, which draws some cards with Aspect of Mongoose. And this is awesome. Elemental Resonance. I've seen this card, but I've never actually seen it played. And of course, it works out very well with enchanting something like Baleful Force. Especially because I can't attack with it because of Song of Serenity. Damia comes out to play. Kruphix uses Clone to copy Damia. There's Felwar Stone, and that helps because he only has 1 card in hand. And there's Green Sun Zenith for Oracle of Moldiah. Mystic Snake. I've got a lot of cards in hand. I go ahead and play Morinfen and Elixir of Immortality. So he gets a ton of... Kruphix gets a ton of mana, of which he gets Vraska, and then enchants this Damia with Death Watch. Some interesting, goofy enchantments that you never see. And then, stop. Extinguish All Hope. Which gets rid of all non-enchantment creatures. So, as such, the Eidolon is still out there. Got rid of my Baleful Force and Morinfen again. Well, no, maybe that was the first time I cast Morinfen. Oh, it was the second time. That's right. So we get Enchantress's Presence and Boon Satyr and +1 on Vraska. Damia plays her commander. She only has 2 cards in hand. Kruphix does nothing. I draw into Jet Medallion, which I play. And then I cast Morinfen again. Damia gets destroyed by Vraska. Morinfen gets enchanted with Vow of Wild something or other. Wildness. So now Morinfen can't block at all or attack at all. What the heck was that? Unnatural Hunger. At the beginning of the upkeep deals damage to that player equal to the creature's power unless he or she sacrifices another creature. Well, these are like goofy old auras. The Phairka deck is actually pretty interesting. It you know, since it's not mana screwed, it does some fun, interesting stuff. That's why I'm glad I was able to show this. Phairka Diabolic Tutors, and then Boon Satyr goes after Damia. Damia goes ahead and plays her commander again. Kruphix is going to flash something out with Alchemist's Refuge, and it is her commander. His commander. I don't know what Kruphix is. There's Unexpected Results, which gets a land. The next one gets a Trinket Mage, which tutors up Skullclamp. Skullclamp gets cast and equipped on... Oh, no equipment. Okay. So I am going to take a decent amount of damage here. I go ahead and use Disciple Bolus to get rid of Morinfen and draw some cards. I play... Stop. Nirkana Revenant, and then I use Beacon of Unrest to get an Oracle Moldiah out of Kruphix's graveyard. That's going to allow me to cast or play some additional lands. Diabolic Intent. That's not Diabolic Intent, that's Diabolic... Oh, it is Diabolic Intent. Sacrificing the Disciple. And I searched up Lightning Greaves. This is because I still have mana that I can pump into the Revenant. And I equip it with a Warhammer, cast Greaves, and I go ahead and attack. Or I pump it a little bit. And this is one of the fundamental dichotomies of the deck. The deck wants to be a Suicide Black deck, but it also wants to gain life so it doesn't die. So, the Revenant's like a 13-10 Shroud, Trample, Lifelink, Haste beater. And I go after Phairka, knocking her down to 7. Phairka casts Doomwake, along with a few other enchantment creatures. Gnarled Scarhide, which kills off my Oracle. Boon Satyr gets Whip Silk flashed out. And cast again. These are good with the enchantment, the draw a card every time you cast enchantment cards. Phairka is still problematic, even though she's only at 7 life. I'm at 34. Kruphix is at 34, and Damia is at 27. And there's Aranarlid. Wormcoil Engine for Damia, who has the same idea as I do. It's my own Wormcoil Engine. And then Damia cast. Stop. What did you cast? Walk the Eons. With buyback. So that's interesting, right? Sacrificing 3 lands. So Damia goes ahead and uses Wormcoil Engine to attack into Phairka, taking out 1 or 2 dudes, and then cast Walk the Aeons again with Scoop Mob and Lotus Cobra, but no cards in hand. Scoop Mob, however, gets big. Everybody goes after Phairka. She blocks and takes her out. And then casts Imperial Seal. So the Phairka deck did really well for just a 2-color enchantment deck. I was impressed with it. And obviously the Damia player was too, because she decided to take her out. Kruphix doesn't really do anything. I draw a land. I play my own Wormcoil Engine. I've got Hero's Demise in my hand, just in case. The Kruphix player decides to concede. Now, if I had realized that the Kruphix player was going to concede, I would not have cast the Wormcoil Engine. Instead, I would have cast Morinfen and tried to go for the commander damage kill with Nightmare Lash and Lockstone Warhammer, maybe even the sword. I get attacked with the Wormcoil Engine. I'm fine with that. Knocks me down to 28 and him to 43. I use Thawing Glaciers to get another swamp. He's only got 1 card in hand, though. I get Beacon of Unrest. So instead, what I decided to do is just equip the crap out of the Wormcoil Engine. And he does not block and drops down to 20. I go ahead and do nothing. What did I do at the end of my turn? Why did I tap lands? Stop. Go back. What the hell? Well, I guess I didn't do anything. Okay. So he's got a 13, 13, and a 6-6, but I'm at 48. So he holds them back on defense. I've got my Mana Crypt. I draw Withered Witch. I attack. He throws his Wormcoil Engine in front. And that's the game. What happened? Oh, because it's got Trample. That's right. He is 23-20. Maybe he just conceded. I don't remember what happened here. But he just decided to call it quits. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, he only had 2 cards in hand. I had Hero's Demise and Beacon of Unrest. And really what I should have done was just gone straight for Morinfen and gone for the commander damage kill. So, there you go. I Voltroned up somebody else. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. Alright, thanks.